Hello, my name is Tanya Lay. I am from Mississippi, and I want to share with you today my personal theory of psychotherapy as it is applied to group counseling. I call this personal theory holistic healing, and I will explain this further as we go through the presentation. I want to begin by defining group counseling. Group counseling is an interpersonal process involving multiple group members. In this process, we use empathy and support, and we engage group members to consciously reflect on their thoughts, their feelings, and their behaviors. Um, Group counseling is problem oriented and growth oriented versus personality restructuring. It engages group members to identify their strengths and provides an atmosphere of security and trust. And it drives group members to deal with their problems and develop skills to help them better handle future problems. Goals of group counseling. We want to first evaluate personal values. Everybody comes to the group setting with different values. So we want to share those and be open-minded to each new thing. And the next thing is skill development. We try to encourage everyone to um, or teach different skills such as communication skills, assertiveness, decision making. We also incorporate prevention education in each group as well. Prevention education can extend anywhere from alcohol, tobacco, and drug prevention to um, abstinence, safe sex. We also work towards solving problems or correcting problematic behaviors. We also want to increase self-awareness, self-acceptance, confidence, self-respect, and awareness of the world around each group member. And we want to improve their interpersonal relationships inside and outside of the group. And we also want them to feel kind of connected together within the group setting. Additional goals of group counseling. We want to develop and increase each person's ability to empathize. As we mentioned earlier, we want to improve certain skills such as communication skills, teach everyone how to learn to appropriately express their emotions versus past ways or problematic ways that they express their emotions. We want to increase their sense of responsibility and interdependence, and we want each group member to identify and develop life goals and increase their sense of self-direction. And of course, like we said, improve decision making skills. Oftentimes, when group members come to a group setting, they lack life goals. They lack the awareness that goals are important, or life or lack a sense of self-direction on which way they would like to go within their lives. Group counseling is very beneficial. It allows the members to apply and practice the skills that they learn. It's within the safety of the group setting. Um, the group also serves as a support network as well, so that each group member can feel more comfortable and be more trusting so that they can open up, and that the skills that they use, they can go out and apply that in their everyday life. My role as the group leader, my role will be to promote growth within each individual group member and promote growth within the group as well. Um, I myself promote and advocate for continued growth in life, and I do explain that in each group setting. In my explanation, um, I inform each group member that growth does not necessarily mean physical, but of course it means every realm, the holistic realm of one being, meaning intellectual growth, spiritual growth, emotional growth, and then of course physical growth towards becoming more healthy, feeling more healthy physically. um, and in this thought, in my theory, I also inform each group member that I am very open and I'm willing to learn new experiences. So this way it doesn't seem like I'm more of the final authority, but more so as a person who is learning new experiences along the way with each group member. And I also incorporate evidence-based programs um, that can help teach each group member the necessary skills that we talked about already. And necessary skills meaning, like, say, decision making, communication, affect regulation, and how to reduce and alleviate stress. These are just some of the examples that some of the evidence-based programs can teach. And I also will promote creativity and inventiveness. I want to be open outside of the box and encourage everyone to think outside of the box. And then I want to also encourage them to maintain some balance within their lives, within the challenges they experience every single day, and to develop boundaries and then maintain the boundaries they develop. And then, of course, I want to provide a secure and emotionally safe environment for each group member. Um, my personal theory, of course, is integrated from with various theories, and these are some of the key concepts that I use in what I call holistic healing. Um, Carl Rogers' person-centered theory is one of those. Self-actualization by Abraham Maslow, reality therapy, cognitive behavioral approaches, RABT, Gestalt theory, solution-focused brief theory. I wouldn't necessarily integrate and use all of those at one time, but what I would do is, or my goal is to be very competent in each area so that I can freely be able to use any theory, any therapy when needed, appropriate to the setting, appropriate to each client, but also to be able to use different key concepts from each different theory to more so mold the the service to meet the client's needs. Person-centered theory and self-actualizations. One of the reasons why I chose these two theories is because person-centered concept relies on the notion that human beings have a tendency to move towards self-realization. I think this is very important to become self-aware of oneself. In order to really kind of understand our thoughts, our behaviors, our actions, how we became to be who we are, or how we became to be in a position in our current life situations. Um, this also involves self-awareness, freedom, honesty, um, trust, self-acceptance. It involves inner self-directedness, non-use or dependence on the use of developed facades. And when I say that, I mean that in our everyday dealings in our personal relationships, interpersonal relationships, and our social systems and things, we begin to develop this a facade so that we can kind of build this character uh, for people to view, because we want to kind of control how people perceive us. So in that process, we begin to develop facades. And in self-actualization theory, the purpose is to chip away from those facades so that the individual can really see themselves for who they truly are. Reality therapy is designed to implement choice therapy theory. It's action motivated. It's structured. Um, this theory and this approach does not really allow clients to kind of sit still and just talk about what they're going to do, but instead begin to plan and go into action mode of what they're going to do. It utilizes the psychoeducational components as well. Of course, decision making, goal-oriented action planning, and coping, which is also a very important skill that's needed. Cognitive behavioral therapy, it focuses on specific goals of change. It just also moves clients towards change. It helps them to understand self-destructive or problematic behaviors that have occurred throughout their lives due to their thought processes and emotions that develop through those thought processes. It requires the setting of personal goals and new skills of each group member. It is systematic and it's based on principles, and I think this is very important because oftentimes when people come to group, their lives are kind of chaotic. But here, cognitive behavioral therapy provides more of a structure and a system for learning and system for practice and utilizing the skills they learn. And also important are the assessment, treatment, and evaluation processes that are used, which are also involved in cognitive behavioral therapy. RABT, I chose this therapy because of the ABC framework. I'm very fond of that framework because, it's kind of a formula and it provides more of a format to help clients understand um, how their thoughts and their reactions and their emotions lead to specific behaviors, and then the rationale and how to change how they view certain things within their lives. Changing how you view a certain situation can actually minimize the perception of what they consider to be problematic. Gestalt therapy is based on a foundation of holism. So, of course, I'm very fond of that, and is aimed at helping group members achieve awareness as well. And it also aims to produce growth, self regulation, self awareness. Um, And it's based on a notion that if we continue to be who we are not, just like I talked about earlier with the facades, then we will never experience change. So just kind of incorporating these things together kind of makes sense to me, and helping the clients move towards understanding who they are holistically as an individual, and how to um, intertwine each facet of themselves so that they can become balanced. And solution focus, which is brief. Of course, each person that comes to group is looking for a solution. So solution focus, I like this therapy because it focuses on finding solutions to their problems, and that's, of course, an ultimate goal of group counseling. Other considerations I had to acknowledge, of course, are multicultural considerations. I understand that as a psychotherapist, I will need to be very mindful about my own personal values, my own culture speaking, and then to also understand that culture is just not simply limited to race or ethnicity, but it in fact extends to culture of generations, um, as well as the LGBT populations as well. This is a culture of their own. So there are various cultures that everyone or all counselors need to be very mindful about. So these are considerations that I can't ignore. Other considerations are ethical considerations. As psychotherapists, I understand that in any clinical setting, ethical dilemmas do develop. So we have to be very mindful of those things as well, especially when we're dealing with various people in a group setting. The target population I prefer is the adolescent population, and I say this because I feel as though adolescents have more room to to grow and learn new things versus the adult population, where it's more so um, unlearning old bad habits to replace them with with new valuable information. But with adolescents, they can be more open and be more impressionable towards learning. Therapeutic approaches that I would use would probably be trauma focused CBT, affect regulation, utilize some cognitive processing and some restructuring. These are considerations, though, when it comes to dealing with group counseling, what type of therapeutic approaches we will use. I will also use tools such as psychodrama techniques like role reversal, empty chair method. This gives clients an opportunity to really see firsthand, or really play out firsthand, particular issues that are identified within each group setting. And then I'll also use tools such as SOS and mindfulness training, which kind of orients and grounds clients to their current state, and kind of gives them an opportunity to kind of think before they react, and become aware of their current state. So they'd have to stop and they'd have to orient themselves to that current situation, and then just self check, what are their emotions. Are you angry at that moment? Are you happy, or are you sad at that moment? And then really understanding and being aware of those emotions so that mistakes are not made. These are the references that I utilized. I hope that you will find valuable information in these references as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I hope you've enjoyed the presentation.